Around the turn of the century, it was Frenchman Georges Claude who was first to discover and patent neon lighting using newfangled electricity. And by licensing his patent worldwide, Claude had amassed a $9 million fortune within 6 years.
There were so many signs that there was about one sign for about every 18 people living in Vancouver. And so what you ended up with was this amazing, colorful sense of excitement when you were downtown. So that in a rainforest such as Vancouver, you had both the signs glowing, you had the reflection off the pavement, you had the reflection off the cars, you had just an incredible environment.
The owners of restaurants, of businesses, of markets, and their architects, and their sign designers as well, developed new strategies for how to grab their customers. Because their customers weren't walking by and weren't able to look in a shop window the way they would have done in previous years. They were driving by at 30, 40 miles an hour. One of the great contributions of Las Vegas to architecture is the concept of the building as a sign and as a sign as the building. So in buildings like the Stardust Hotel, where a sign covered the entire face of the building was not even there for all intents and purposes, except as the sign.
But within that setting, some of the works of man can be quite hideous. They can be, and they are. The signs and the billboards are bullying you thousands of times a day, every second. It
was a period in Vancouver's history, and also really across North America and in part in Britain and places, where it was the quote-unquote city beautiful movement, where all of a sudden visual clutter, the sort of natural visual clutter of a city, was deemed ugly.
Just within the past 8 or 10 years, we have lost quite a number of great buildings and signs in Las Vegas, like the Golden Nugget sign downtown, like the Dunes sign.
The 1960s saw newfangled color television beaming commercial messages into every subconscious with a persistence that delivered more bang for every industrialist's budget than neon ever could. It heralded the end of a glorious era.
We should care about whether or not we save these or whether or not they're lost, because they're part of our common heritage, our common memory, really. I feel that if you tear down these things, you're erasing part of your memory, our cultural memory in general. We forget who we were, what our cities looked like, how we lived in the past. And that to me is the fundamental reason why signs as well as buildings need to be preserved.
Well, I think if you travel and you go, say, to England and you look at stone churches and Tudor buildings, you have a romantic idea of what life used to be back then. And I think if someone's unearthing today's society and looking at the neon signs that are stuck on these ruins, it will be a society that embraced what for them was modern life, electricity and the glory and fun of electricity, and also a sense of playfulness.